about today: how to get to Myrtle Beach, how to love it, and how to sell it. So again, being very close proximity to Canada, it's a very easy drive. I did it myself with my kids this past March break. We live in Pickering, as I mentioned, so with quite a few stops along the way because they are kids, and a one-night overstay in West Virginia. It took us about 16 to 18 hours. I've heard people tell me, pedal to the floor, they've made it there in 12. So really it just depends on how fast you're driving. But I would say across Ontario, it's a really easy drive. Now, for those clients looking for flights, we are working very hard to get a direct flight back to Myrtle Beach. Right now, they're connecting flights, and they're easy connecting flights via Charlotte, sometimes Newark. So usually clients are in Myrtle Beach within by 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and our airport is downtown, so you could be on the beach in the early afternoon. You always can fly to Charleston as a backup option. Air Canada flies direct to Charleston right now, and Myrtle Beach is an hour and a half away. So lots of options and easy options, I think, on how to get to Myrtle Beach. And I love the fact that we have an awesome choice for accommodations. Not everyone is a big resort style traveler. Some people like the feel of homes. So we have beach homes and condos. Some people love the idea of towing their RV down to Myrtle Beach and camping on one of our oceanfront campsites or in our state parks. There's so many varieties, and I think it really attracts to everyone's interests. And again, many of them allow pets. So it's the fun part too, especially for long stay clients. Bring your animal down and enjoy a long stay in Myrtle Beach. We do have excellent updates on some of our accommodations. I'm excited to welcome a 4-star new Voco, the Shelby Resort. This is an IHG property, so if you're familiar with that brand, it's going to be very fresh and modern feel, while still offering excellent amenities like a water park on site. The Caribbean Resort, this is a long-time historical resort. Again, ask that question. If your clients have been there, maybe they've heard of the Caribbean Resort. And they did $20 million in renovations. This is an excellent property for any clients looking for 1 to 4 bedroom units. Some of them come with full bunk beds, full kitchens, oceanfront. And again, that's going to be nicely refreshed and updated. Coming later in 2026, we'll have a new Fairfield, as well as the Margaritaville has broken ground. So we're excited for the brand to come into Myrtle Beach. I would predict Margaritaville would not be completed until maybe 2027. But again, excellent variety of accommodations in Myrtle Beach. Now let's talk about the restaurant scene. Again, historically, maybe people have memories of some of the kind of larger buffet style seafood buffets. Some of them are still there. We've really elevated the culinary scene. And that is because of our Culinary Institute. A lot of the graduates are locals, and they're graduating and opening their own restaurants, thinking of that farm to table concept and really bringing it to life in Myrtle Beach. So we have some fantastic new restaurants that have sprung up all over the different communities. We have a new beer trail. We have really fun and fresh seafood festivals. Again, just totally different upscale dining than what historically clients might have remembered. So it's always fun to come back and try new things. So when we talk about Myrtle Beach, a lot of people have that opening image that I showed you with the pier and the downtown. A lot of people have that vision in their mind that that's all of Myrtle Beach. But what you might not have known is that there's actually 14 communities that make up the Myrtle Beach area in the Jorge County. So my favorite, I kind of put some images in here. North Myrtle Beach is excellent for our long stay clients. Also where some of the new restaurants have opened up. My favorite there is Hook and Barrel. Conway is such a cute little town to go visit, even just for a day trip. Little coffee shops and shopping. They've got a little water trail, walking path there. And in October, they actually transformed the entire town into Halloween. So all the Spanish moss trees will have jack-o'-lanterns. So just a really fun little town to visit. That's maybe a 30-minute drive from downtown Myrtle Beach. Murrells Inlet is a must. Again, maybe 20 minutes away from downtown, you've got the seafood capital of South Carolina. This is where all the boats come in with the daily catch, amazing restaurants, a really fun marsh walk. Our eco tours and sunset cruises depart out of Murrells Inlet. So always put that on your list of places to visit. And then last but not least, my other favorite was Pawleys Island. Really fun shopping down that way. That one's maybe 35-minute drive from downtown, and you're getting close to the Brook Green Gardens, our state parks. So really think of like, day trips in and out of that Myrtle Beach area. So there's a lot to see and do outside of our downtown section. I also wanted to throw in some of our historical activities that people, again, maybe they didn't see it as a child, but this is of interest to them now when they're coming back as an adult. So we have our historical Hopsby Plantation. And this is actually one of the largest historical rice plantations in our area. 18th century home. It's really beautiful. It's right on the river there. So you can tour the home and the various gardens. And they have a lovely little shop there that offers high tea. Brook Green Gardens, as I mentioned, is a must if you are not only into gardens, but art and sculptures. So this opened actually as a public space dedicated to nature by the Huntington family. And if you have ever looked, we have the Huntington State Park. So both of these are connected conveniently. You've got the Huntington State Park, and across the road is Brook Green Gardens. And then within Huntington State Park is the Atalaya Castle. So the Huntington family, really that was, they bought all that acreage of land back then, and they built a little castle for themselves within that land. And then at the end, obviously, when they passed away, that was dedicated to the city. And so now you have a beautiful state park, the Atalaya Castle, which you can tour around, and just really fun history to take in when you're staying in that area. The other big draw for many is golf. So we are definitely a golfer's paradise. Over 80 courses. We have hosted the Classic for the last 2 years. Pretty excited about that to come back as well. We have a Canadian golf passport. So if you stay longer than, I believe it's 4 weeks, you get a discount at all the local memberships. In the summer, kids play free as long as they're playing alongside a paying adult. Other fun things that have popped up is Pop Stroke, Top Golf, and a new mini golf trail. So we cover all aspects of the golf world. Pop Stroke, if you're not familiar with it, is kind of like an elevated version of mini golf for adults. So you can't cheat because the ball has a tracker in it, keeps track of your scores. Full restaurant, full bar. You can have drinks delivered to, the putting range that you're on. And it's just a really fun way to enjoy a game of golf. Top Golf is simulated. So again, you're inside, but again, maybe perfecting your swing. And then for the fun side, the mini golf trail, you get stamps at every, location that you visit. And then there's prizes at the end. So love the golf world in Myrtle Beach. Some other fun attractions and entertainment that, again, historically people may have visited when they were there. We've always been known for our live theaters. We have over 9 now. So places like the Opry, the Alabama Theater, all offer excellent shows, and they all are based on the season. So even into the Christmas time, they're changing their theme and having their Christmas shows. But Broadway at the Beach and Barefoot Landing are probably our 2 top entertainment areas. Broadway at the Beach is a complex, and within that complex, you have our Wonderworks Museum, kind of like a science center, our Ferris wheel rides, speedboat rides, zip lining, restaurants, live shows, fireworks in the summer. It's spectacular. You could definitely spend a day at Broadway at the Beach. And same with Barefoot Landing, a lot of outdoor shows, free concerts, great restaurants. And the fun thing is in the summer, our free entertainment shuttle departs from various points of downtown and takes you to all of these entertainment attractions for free. So something to keep in mind for anyone touring out in the summer. And as I mentioned, we have excellent sunset cruises, eco tours, anything with the outdoors can definitely be incorporated into an itinerary. So did you know that every year for the last 65 years, Myrtle Beach has hosted Can-Am Days? And this is our Canadian American Days where we, as a destination, say, we love you Canadians, continue to come down. We kick off a party in March, generally around March break. And we come to the table with really, really heavy discounts just for Canadians. So the website is already getting updated with next year's deals. I know they're going to get their Tim Hortons coffee. It will be served at the visitor center. It'll be served outside the aquarium. We'll have cake and all sorts of fun events happening. So if you're not familiar with Can-Am Days, please go on our website and get some more details. But the best time to, sell it to a client really is during the March forward, because they can get some excellent deals. All they have to do is show their Canadian driver's license or passport, and they get an excellent discount. So if you were familiar with that, now you are, and it's a great little added bonus. So just to wrap it up, as a destination, I also wanted to make you aware that we are certified autism. We work with Champion Autism Network. It's actually a local company based in Myrtle Beach, and her website is dedicated to training companies, restaurants, attractions, hotels on how to assist people with sensory needs. So we also on our website have itinerary ideas, a list of those hotels and restaurants that are included in the training. We also offer a GPS tracking band for any clients that have flight risk, children that are flight risk. We have a quiet room at our airport. So really just a lot of extra accommodations and facilities included in a stay for anyone with autism or sensory needs. So I wanted to show this video actually. If you've never heard of the company Traveling with the Spectrum, they launched about 2 years ago, and the first destination of choice was Myrtle Beach. And so they sent 4 families to Myrtle Beach. All families had children or siblings with sensory needs, and it was just a great way to showcase Myrtle Beach as a safe and inclusive destination for sensory needs. So I thought I would show this video to you all just so you really get an idea of what we offer.
We went on a vacation. It was traumatic.
With Max, you have to understand the triggers.
You're traveling with somebody with autism. There's so many more things that you have to consider.
So Braden was 8 years old when we were able to last take that trip. So we're really looking forward to it. We need it.
Why does Max like to go on vacation?
By airplane.
You're fine. You're fine.
Oh, fly always to the sky.
With autism, it's hard enough to go grocery shopping, much less to a movie or to a restaurant.
Holy crap! I claimed the master bedroom.
Is all I wanna do with you. Take my hand, we're gonna.
Don't flip it.
No, we're not gonna flip. We're not gonna fall over.
Throughout my life, I've never been anywhere. And I guess that just brought a feeling to me like maybe I didn't do certain things to deserve it.
You guys deserve to have the same experiences that everybody else does.
I would have never guessed that Miko could enjoy something like this.
Get it, real.
Don't stop. Max, you caught a fish.
Max, take the picture.
Take the picture of you with the fish.
This week, I learned a lot about Max. He is determined to push his own boundaries. It means a lot to me that Max is willing to try new things because he wants to make me proud too.
Taking care of 3 kids, it takes a big toll on them. They just deserve it.
They put this together.
They're good kids.
easy to get stuck in the comfort zone. And sometimes that comfort zone, in my experience, especially after this trip, that comfort zone can be detrimental.
I feel peaceful. It makes me think of all the good things about being a mom, being a wife, being a woman.
I love you, Maxie. Best friends?
Forever.
Forever and
Forever. Kids like me, you're not alone. You have other kids like yourself that are going through the same thing. And when I go back home, I will never forget this vacation.
Excellent. So again, just some great reminders of why you want to go to Myrtle Beach, why you want to sell it. 100 kilometers of oceanfront, 14 communities that clients can explore outside of the downtown. We have 2 state parks, which includes the Atalaya Castle, Brook Green Gardens. We have our entertainment complexes, Broadway at the Beach, Barefoot Landing, 9 live theaters, amazing food festivals, the free entertainment shuttle, and of course, that autism certified destination wrapped up with a ton of Southern hospitality. So hopefully that has sparked some interest in you all to come down. Now, I wanted to kind of highlight some of the key features on how to sell Myrtle Beach. I mean, you're all thriving, dedicated travel agents. I'm sure you're very aware of these, but it's always a good reminder. A lot of our hotel products can be found as FIT. So whether you're booking directly with them or going through places like Beds Online, Travel Brands, Expedia Tap, that's always the easiest way probably to get into some of our hotels. Now, when it comes to those beach home rentals or maybe condo stays for long stays, those are companies that I can put you in touch with. They also pay commission, but booking direct is also easy. We also have some Canadian coach tours. So this is kind of a new twist of or a thought that you maybe not have thought of. But if you have clients maybe in the senior market that want to go down to Myrtle Beach for a week, we have some excellent coach companies that offer tours departing from Ontario. I have a list of them as well. And then golf packages. Maybe you've got a group of people that you could pitch, Myrtle Beach to. I can definitely connect you with some of our properties that offer packages. Barefoot Landing Resort is probably one of our most popular. So again, just think outside the box, think of different ways of how to sell this. And then, of course, I want you all to come back and, of course, discover it. So our travel agent rates are posted on spoiledagent.com. But hopefully you'll win the prize today and get yourself down there for free. And last but not least, please check out the travel agent landing page. You can scan the QR code and get there today. All the things I talked about are listed on there with links to the Can-Am days, links to the certified autism-friendly itineraries, all sorts of information. I've got my fact sheet on there. I kind of forget, actually. I haven't looked at it in a little while, but I should probably go on there. But everything you guys need is listed on that page for you. But again, I am always available via email to chat or give you ideas to connect. Again, reach out anytime, based here in Ontario. So I know what it's like to get through these winter days when it's cold and we want to head south. So definitely consider Myrtle Beach. I appreciate your time and energy, and good luck to everyone that entered. Thanks again.
Great. Thank you so much, Rebecca, for that lovely presentation. So next we'll move into the Q&A portion of the webinar. So if you have any questions, please feel free to post them in the Q&A section of the chat box. And for now, Rebecca, I have a question here that says, how expensive is it to eat locally?
Good question. So again, I personally traveled there in March. It was always great to know what was on discounted. And the fun part about what we offer as a destination, when you get our visitor's guide, in the back is old school tear out coupons. So my kids sat in the back seat and went through this and tore out like discounts at a lot of the restaurants, free scoop of ice cream. Even the attractions have quite great discounts. So utilizing those coupons was a big savings. We also looked for hotels that included breakfast. So that was a big savings as well. And then when we ate locally, we tried to just really incorporate stuff that was not like chains. So maybe outside of the downtown, we found a little less expensive than being right in downtown Myrtle Beach. So again, that's why I kind of made those tips about kind of getting out and exploring, but it was very reasonable. I know our dollar's not the greatest right now with the exchange rate, but for a family of 4 going out for dinner, I found very reasonable, very much like going out here in Canada for a family of 4. So just, with those little tips, maybe looking at the coupons, looking at the Can-Am Day coupons, there's really great ways for families to save on eating locally.
Great. So we do have a few weather-related questions in the chat. I might just combine these 2 questions because they're kind of similar. But the first question is, what is the weather like in March? And then to kind of combine these 2 questions, the other one is, how is the weather for tourism in the winter months? I've been in spring and fall, but I always wonder about January to March. Are there many people really vacationing at this time there?
Okay, yeah, those are great questions. So while the cheapest months to go definitely would be your like December, January, February, those are our coldest months. And now when I say cold, we're not getting snow, we're not getting rain, still sunny days, but you're dropping down into, the 8 to 10 degrees temperature, maybe 8's a little low, 10 to 15. March, it really does start to pick up. So when we went in March, which was the middle of March, the day we arrived was 21 degrees and sunny and hot. Now, the only thing in March, while it's sunny and warm to us as Canadians, the locals thought we were crazy for swimming in the ocean. So the ocean is definitely still very chilly. I personally grew up on a lake, so swimming in cold water didn't bother me. But I would say you're not really swimming in the ocean until closer to June. And then March, we had one day of like cloudy, overcast, it was maybe 17 with a bit of wind. So March can be hit and miss. It's not going to be like into the 30s, but you're into your early teens and 20s as far as temperature. So March really is the pinnacle point of moving out of those low temperatures. But it's still enjoyable, like off season, that's where my snowbirds kind of come out and they don't want the heat, but they don't want the snow. So it's like, I guess it just depends what your priorities are. Yeah. Did I answer both?
Yes. Yeah, I think you did. Absolutely. That was great. Thank you, Rebecca. I have another question here as well. It says, where is the best area to stay for families?
Excellent question. So we stay downtown because my kids had never been, and I wanted them to really experience, the excitement of the boardwalk. The Sky Wheel was right there. Everything was the walking distance, arcades and nightlife. So we stayed right downtown. I didn't mind it. Like they're teenagers. So I felt comfortable with them kind of being able to walk and do their own thing. But personally, if I was to go back and stay in a beach home and have a little bit of a quieter area, I would stay in Surfside Beach. And that's really only 15 minutes down the road. So you're still close to downtown, but out of like the chaos of nightlife, if that's not your jam. And it is known as our family beach, actually, Surfside Beach. So that's a popular one with our families.
Wonderful. Okay. I have another question in the chat as well. Is Myrtle Beach wheelchair accessible?
Yes, it is. Actually, we have a link from our Sensory Friendly page that will tell you all of the access points along Myrtle Beach. And I was just looking at this the other day. I know we have over 15 wheelchair accessible ramps, as well as access to beach wheelchairs. So definitely across our 100 kilometers, we have a lot of access points, which is all mapped out on our website. So I can send that link to whoever needs that.
Wonderful. Okay, I think we have time for one last question here.
Great.
And you kind of already answered this, but maybe we'll just bring it up again. And can you swim in the ocean in March?
So you can. It's quite chilly. I have a little temperature guide on the fact sheet. I don't know if I uploaded that to this page, but that'll be on my travel agent portal. I'll go back to that slide. So when you go on the travel agent portal, you'll see travel agent fact sheet. And on the back of that lists the water temperatures and the air temperature during March. So you can kind of get an idea of what that feels like. But so yes and no, you can swim, but it's quite cold. It just depends if you love that coldness.
Great. And I think we can also include some of these links in the email. We will be sending an email to everyone who registered for the webinar. We'll include a link to the recorded video so you can rewatch this if there's anything that you missed or you want to see again. And we can include some of these links, Rebecca, that you mentioned as well so everyone can view those.
Okay.
Great. Okay, so with that, Rebecca, do you have any closing statements or any last words before I wrap things up?
No, just again, thank you for your time and have a great rest of your week.
Awesome. A huge thank you to Rebecca for this presentation. As the webcast ends, you will be redirected to the Myrtle Beach website where you can learn more. I will be sending the recording link from today's webcast to each of you in the next few days, and it will be uploaded to the Baxter Media's YouTube channel where you can also find all of our past webcast recordings. You can also follow Baxter Media on LinkedIn to hear about webcasts as they come up. Our next webcast is coming up next Wednesday, November 19th. Join us as Marco Frank from Visit Flanders shares why Flanders is the next must-see destination for Canadian travelers. So with that, why don't we wrap things up? Thank you again to Rebecca, and thank you everyone for being here today. Bye, everyone.